Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Kris. This was requested. Excuse me. I don't necessarily remember if it was this video, if it was a channel. Must have been the channel. I think I've seen the channel before. Anyways, 10 times dropped cameras captured something terrifying. If you can click that thumbs up, subscribe. There's a hype, and thanks.
He lowered a camera deep underground and discovered something that terrified everyone. An explorer named Jeff from the YouTube channel Ask Jeff Williams sets out to investigate an old abandoned mining park in the town of Tonopah. Jeff Williams is an experienced geologist with over 40 years of experience. In his videos, he explores strange and unsettling places in the desert, abandoned mines, caves, and other locations where gold and other valuable metals were once mined. This time, he approaches a massive mine headframe that is over 100 years old. Long ago, silver ore was lifted from deep underground through this structure. Jeff explains that many mines in this area reach depths of more than 2,500 feet. He carefully peers inside and lowers his camera into the dark mine shaft. At first, the footage shows nothing but darkness and old wooden guides that once carried the mine elevator up and down. But as the camera descends further, it becomes clear just how deep this shaft really is, hundreds of feet below the surface. Then, something strange appears. At a depth of around 500 feet, among debris and old structural supports, human remains come into view. A human skeleton lies against one of the supports. It appears that someone may have fallen into the shaft long ago and never made it back out. Later, the explorer contacted his colleagues to try to recover the remains from the mine. However, even after several attempts, they were unable to bring the skeleton back to the surface. A blogger decided to test the durability of his iPhone 11 Pro by intentionally dropping it into a geothermal spring while it was recording. The video was uploaded to the YouTube channel TechRacks on April 27, 2020. The creator wanted to find out what was inside the boiling water and whether the phone could survive such an extreme test. The place where he dropped the phone is called Diana's Punch Bowl, also known as a Devil's Cauldron. It's a deep circular pit in Nevada, filled with a geothermal spring of extremely hot water. The hole is about 49 feet deep, and the water temperature can reach around 200 degrees Fahrenheit. During the first drop, the phone didn't record anything unusual, only the sound of the drone. But when the blogger dropped the phone again, this time from a greater height, something strange happened. The phone suddenly seemed to be surrounded by screams that sounded like human voices, as if someone was crying out for help in English.
I'm not gonna lie, that gave me goosebumps. Oh, I got them on my arms and legs. That was creepy.
Later, the creator himself noted that the audio from the experiment sounded extremely eerie, almost like people screaming.
The audio sounded pretty eerie, and I wanted to include kind of the unaltered version here. So I have the clip here. It was 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and I edited, for the actual video. because it's just a lot of talking, and then the drone is flying. And then I'll show you guys the actual drop here. And then right there, you could hear, it definitely sounds like some yelling. It's really weird, guys. I don't know what to think of it.
The iPhone recorded these strange underwater sounds for about 10 seconds before shutting off, most likely because of the extremely hot water. Interestingly, during the first drop, no screams were heard, and the phone did not shut down. On March 11, 2011, a reactor exploded at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant after a powerful earthquake and the tsunami that followed. The disaster was classified as Level 7 on the International Nuclear Event Scale, the highest possible rating. Sometime later, a camera was lowered into the damaged reactor to see what was happening inside. A special robot was sent into the destroyed Fukushima Daiichi reactor, but it became stuck inside and was unable to return. However, before failing, the robot managed to transmit video footage, allowing the world to see what the inside of the reactor looked like for the first time since the disaster. The robot was equipped with a special camera designed to withstand extreme levels of radiation. The footage showed reactor debris scattered across the floor, while steam could be seen constantly rising from beneath the wreckage. Radiation levels inside the reactor are off the charts, around 10 sieverts per hour. That level of radiation would be enough to kill a person within seconds. On January 4th, 2025, there was a major breakthrough in the case of Tommy Braley, who went missing in 2017 after visiting Brewer's Bar and Grill in Sumter, South Carolina. Tommy vanished along with his silver BMW 325i, and despite extensive searches, no trace was ever found. Years later, Adam Brown, the creator of the YouTube channel Adam Brown Adventures and an enthusiast of magnet fishing, teamed up with fellow searcher Jason Serrata to scan submerged areas along Highway 401, a route Tommy likely would have taken.
All right, I have my drone in the water.
I kind of like the fact that people will hear a mysterious story, and they'll take it upon themselves to search it out to see if they can bring some kind of closure. So I always commend people who do that. This guy, I commend this guy as well. That's what I was trying to say. Don't know what I tried to say. Don't know what I said.
Got it set up on the app so you can see on the screen. We're going to send her down and see what this object is. Let's go down. That's a car.
I know.
I think so, dude. Wait a second.
Sure as hell looks like one to me.
It looks silver too.
Dude,
No way.
it looks four-door.
It's gotta be him. A silver car right down.
That's a BMW.
That looked like, let me go back. That looked like the window was rolled down.
It looks four-door.
See? Looks like the window's been rolled down.
It's gotta be him. A silver car right down.
That's a BMW. That's 100% a BMW.
I think we found him, man.
You're not gonna be able to tell anything.
gonna try to-
There's usually a logo right there at the top where the two grill pieces come together.
That's it. That's this BMW.
We found Tommy. I bet. That's gotta be Tommy. That's gotta be Tommy.
Dude.
Dude.
It was there that they made their discovery. Exactly what happened to Tommy remains unclear in public reports. However, his car was found submerged about 10 feet deep in a swampy area near Crestwood High School. Human remains were recovered from inside the vehicle and later officially identified as Tommy Brayley. After 7 years, the discovery finally brought long-awaited closure to his family and the local community.
I'll say it again. Props to those guys for doing things like that, and to everyone who does stuff like that.
The video was filmed on July 4th, 2013, and has received over 35 million views. In the footage, a team lowers a small camera equipped with a flashlight, a pencil to protect the lens from impact, and a depth meter into an extremely deep well. They attach the camera to a rope and begin slowly lowering it down. At certain moments, strange sounds can be heard. There are stories claiming that at certain depths, people have heard terrifying noises, or even screams, similar to the legends surrounding the Kola super deep borehole. Many people describe these sounds as the sounds of hell. It is believed that the original recording of these mysterious sounds may have come from this very location. However, in this particular video, no sounds of that intensity were captured. It's possible that the camera simply wasn't lowered deep enough. Still, the entire situation feels quite unsettling. The video was uploaded to the YouTube channel Real Backcountry Boys. A few weeks earlier, the creator had been exploring a small abandoned ghost town with his children when they discovered a mysterious mine shaft more than 1,000 feet deep. Realizing that exploring such a dangerous place with kids wasn't a good idea, he decided to come back later. Sometime afterward, he returned with his brothers to try to find out just how deep the strange shaft really was. During their first attempt, they lowered a camera down the hole using fishing line attached to a makeshift rod, but at around 1,000 feet, they ran out of line and were unable to reach the bottom. This time, they came much better prepared. They brought several thousand feet of fishing line, attached a GoPro with lights, and slowly lowered it into the dark mine shaft. The camera gradually descended deeper and deeper underground. After a while, it was already hundreds of feet below the surface, revealing old tunnels branching off from the main shaft. According to the explorers, no one had seen these parts of the mine for more than 100 years, since dangerous shafts like this are usually sealed off. But the strangest moment came when the camera finally reached the bottom. At a depth of more than 1,000 feet, the camera captured water at the bottom of the shaft, and floating on the surface was a mysterious, dark object.
Okay, it just got significantly heavier. We might need to be really careful, guys. Hang on. Yeah, it definitely went underwater, I think.
When the camera touched the water, one of the lights began to slowly fill with water, and the camera gradually started sinking deeper toward the bottom. Later, while reviewing the footage, the explorers noticed another strange detail. The entire time they were near the shaft, a strong, horrible smell was coming from inside. It turned out that the mysterious object floating in the water was most likely the body of a skunk that had fallen into the shaft from a great height. Retrieving the camera was not easy. The fishing line was barely able to support the weight of the equipment now filled with water, and it could have snapped at any moment. But after a tense struggle, they managed to pull the camera back up to the surface.
I didn't really notice. They kept the arrows were pointing at things, but I didn't really notice anything. I saw a little clump, but that could have been anything.
The Nanaimo Abyss is located on Vancouver Island. The opening has a diameter of about 27.5 inches. It's wide enough for a person to fall into. The exact depth of the hole is unknown, but it's believed to reach around 5,280 feet. It's also unclear when this crack first appeared. Over the years, many eerie stories and local legends have formed around it. According to locals, several people have fallen into the abyss and never returned. Anyone who has ever ended up at the bottom of this hole remained there. Recovering the bodies is physically impossible, but that's not what this story is about. So what exactly lies at the bottom? This video was filmed by a man named Gathley. He decided to lower his GoPro as deep as possible to find out what might be hiding inside the Nanaimo Abyss. Using a rope 2,625 feet long, he slowly began lowering the camera into the hole. He made dozens of attempts to get the camera as deep as possible, but the GoPro kept getting caught on protruding branches and roots. After more than 4 hours, he finally managed to lower the camera to a depth of about 1,640 feet. Although he didn't capture anything unusual, the experiment itself turned out to be quite fascinating. Oil and gas wells can reach depths of up to 15,840 feet. In the past, depths like these could only be explored using specialized instruments. However, with the development of modern video equipment, it has become possible to actually see what is happening at such extreme depths. At the bottom of a well, temperatures can reach around 260 degrees Fahrenheit. Because of the enormous depth, transmitting live video is extremely difficult. However, this problem has been solved with new types of cameras that send a rapid sequence of images back to the surface. As the camera descends, it gradually reveals the structure of the entire well, from the opening at the surface, down through the borehole, and deeper underground. During drilling, the walls of the well are reinforced with special casing pipes, although they do not always appear in the footage. As the camera continues its descent, you can see fluids and water circulating inside the well, moving through the chamber as part of the drilling process. In this video, a camera is lowered to a depth of nearly 3 miles. Even footage captured from that far below the surface can change the way we think about what lies beneath the earth. But an even more astonishing discovery was made beneath 2,953 feet of solid ice. Scientists found 12 species of organisms that had never been known to science before. The discovery happened almost by accident. Geologists working on a glacier in Antarctica came across a massive boulder and decided to lower a camera beneath the ice. The camera soon transmitted images of mysterious creatures. The researchers were working on the Falconer-Rowney ice shelf in western Antarctica. The leader of the geological team ordered a deep tunnel to be drilled so they could collect samples from beneath the glacier. After drilling the hole, a camera was lowered into the shaft. The total depth of the borehole reached 4,409 feet. However, the camera was unable to reach the very bottom because it was blocked by a huge boulder. It was beneath this boulder that scientists discovered an unexpected variety of life. The organisms were divided into 3 groups. Among them was a previously unknown subspecies of sea sponge, along with about 10 similar organisms of roughly the same size. Researchers also discovered another species of sponge. However, scientists still have more questions than answers. Normally, organisms cannot survive that deep beneath a glacier, since there is almost no oxygen and virtually no food source. To understand how these creatures manage to survive in such extreme conditions, scientists will need to collect more samples from the bottom and conduct further research. Interestingly, geologists later discovered another similar boulder beneath the glacier in a different location, and if it hadn't been for this accidental discovery, no one might have ever known that life could exist in such extreme conditions. The video was uploaded to the YouTube channel Wild Venture Outdoors. In it, the creator returns to the same canyon where, a few weeks earlier, he discovered a mysterious mine shaft about 524 feet deep. During his previous visit, he only measured the depth, but this time he came back with a friend and a GoPro camera, determined to finally find out what lies at the bottom of the old shaft. The two climb up to the opening and prepare a makeshift setup. They attach several lights to the camera and tie it to a long fishing line so they can slowly lower it all the way to the bottom. As the camera begins its descent, the sound of flapping wings echoes through the shaft. It turns out that dozens of pigeons have made their nests deep inside. The camera continues sinking deeper underground. The The walls of the shaft are made of solid rock, and it feels as if no one has seen these sections for decades. The descent takes several minutes. According to the creator, the camera was lowering for about 5 minutes before finally reaching the bottom. When they later reviewed the footage, it became clear that the bottom was covered with a layer of gravel and small rocks. This was unexpected, since the explorers had assumed they might see large boulders or old objects down there. According to the creator, the bottom likely appears so clean because rocks, sand, and debris constantly fall into the shaft over time, gradually burying anything that may have been there before. Even though nothing unusual was found at the bottom, the experiment itself turned out to be surprisingly fascinating. After all, places like this are rarely seen from the inside, especially more than 500 feet below the surface.
Wow. I don't think I saw 10 terrifying things. Saw a couple creepy things. Nothing terrifying about the oil thing. But anyways, it was still interesting. So, we are going to stop it there. We'll be back. Well, there's no part 2. We'll be back with a different video on a different day. So, keep your eye out. Until then, have a good day. Have a good night.